Yeah, hello. Uh, After the first Libresdr open box opening video, today we will have the second one, the short one. The first one was 5 hours to explain how to start using the Libresdr from Hamgeek from AliExpress. Today we will start opening this device and see how to program it and make it useful because um, out of the box it has no software on it, so you cannot use the device. Um, First, let me change the camera to another view. Yeah, normally it comes exactly with this box if you bought it from AliExpress from HamGeek. I think Ismail has the same. Um, Ismail's box is exactly
Yes,
the
it's
same.
exact.
So they pack it exactly the same. I think it's the same person who is packing it. Eh, I would like to show you what's inside. Um, I already opened this box, so I know it. It's not tidy as it was before. All the all the cables and the antennas, everything inside the box are very high quality to be honest. Um, the cables are very good, including this USB cables. It has four antennas in it, SMA antennas, and the Lime SDR itself. Ah, it's brilliant. It's full aluminum alloy. It's very tough. You cannot break it, I guess. The only comments I saw was these antennas are directly connected to PCB. So while plugging hard cables to this, just be careful. Other than that, it's all good. Here you see four antenna inputs, two RX and two TX ports on the device on one side, and on the other side we have the Ethernet, which is normally not in a Adam Pluto because let me get an Adam Pluto as well. Here is the Adam Pluto original. It has only two inputs. Here I'm at the reference. It's not in the original one, and only USB connection. So this one has also the Ethernet connection, um, and also the reference inputs here and the debug connection. Debug connection has four serial ports that you can connect and have a console on the device, and an SD card without SD. SD is not provided by MGig. So I will use this SD to put this device, and it has an SD card slot in it, where the original Adam Pluto does not have any SD support. Also, the old device has Zinc 710. This one has Zinc 720, which more LUTs, more logical units on it. This one has 512 megabytes, half gigabyte of RAM. This one has 1 gigabyte of RAM. This one, I think this is the old version. There is no separate um, regulator for the analog devices chip, but this one, it's it has a better power supply to say. When you get the device, just let me put this here if you can see. Yeah. Um, when you get it, you need to program an SD card to be able to log into this. I watched a video from TechMinds, and in that video, he was telling a GitHub repository uh, to download uh, all the files. Let me find that repository for you. Yeah, and let me share my screen. Um, Yep, share the screen, share the full desktop, go here, and here we had the Tech Minds video. And in the Tech Minds video, he was just connecting to this repository. It's the github.com/lucasmelon-ops Libresdr. First, when you go here, you can just click download and download the zip file. And when you download the zip file, it's a long file. I think it's around 140 megabytes or so. The first thing you need to do is you need to prepare an SD card and flash it. I don't want to show this to you on a Mac, but let's do it on a Windows machine. So I have a Windows machine here. Most of you have a Windows machine. So I will, on the other computer, I will connect to the same repository for you. Lucas Melon. Yeah, let's stop sharing from Mac and start sharing from Windows if I can. Yeah, here. Share the full screen. Yes. I think now you have my Windows screen. It will come. I can see it on the second screen, so maybe I can stop sharing and share again. Share. Can you see my screen? No. Ekranımı görebiliyor musunuz?
Hayır, hayır.
Şimdi
Şimdi
geldim.
geldi.
Okay. Okay, now I'm able to share my screen. Yeah, this is the github.com/lucasmelon-ops Libresdr. When you come here, please download this as a zip file. My Windows is a little bit slow, so let's see how it will do. Here we can see that it's downloading. That I already downloaded. I don't need to re-download it, but just want to show you that how do I download it. I have this SD card that I will plug to my computer. So let's go to the downloads folder on my computer. Yeah. You will. Yeah. The Windows machine decided to disconnect. I love Windows. Let's get the network again. I don't know what happened, but let's reconnect. And let's try Zoom again. Yeah, the original video was 5 hours because we started from scratch trying to understand what is the problem with the device. Then we were able to use the device after 5 hours. Now I hope it will take less. Share the screen, share the full screen so you see my full screen. Yeah, when you come here, just download it. Now I will show you the downloaded folder on my computer. This is my download folder. And I believe I already downloaded that too. Yeah, this LibreSDR main. So just, I would like to extract the files here, or maybe to desktop for somewhere. I'm not a good Windows user anymore. Yeah, let's extract all here into a folder called Libresdr here. When we go to that folder, we have this Libresdr main, and we have a folder called tools. So first go to the tools folder and install the Pluto SDR M2K USB drivers, which will make your device to be able to communicate with Pluto SDR. I already did that, so I will not repeat that now, but that's the first thing you need to do, install the drivers. Then go to this folder. Here we have a working firmware. It's called working firmware, so we will use it. It's an SD card image, so just plug your SD card to your computer and wait for it to pop up if it works. So I have an SD card. It should work. This one, maybe another SD card. Of course, you can prepare the SD card on a Linux or Mac or any operating system. But here I would like to show you how we do it on a Windows machine. Yeah, this is it. D is my drive. So now I don't want to delete this because I have a lot of pictures. And you don't need to delete the contents. You can just copy that without deleting. But what I would like to do is delete the contents. So yeah, this is ready. Scan and fix recommended. Let's see. Welcome, Bilgin. I will take Bilgin out and come back. Yep, I just plugged in the SD card, and let's find the SD card. And for just you can format it with FAT32. That is important. You need to format it FAT32. So this is capacity is 1 GB. It's a 32 GB, but the rest is Linux file system. So I have a 1 GB FAT. You can name it whatever you want. Just start the formatting. Let's see, will we be able to format it? Yes, format completed. So we can now open the SD card, which is empty, and copy all the files here to SD card. So copying. Now our SD card is ready. Now I will plug in my Pluto to see how it puts. Yeah, just eject, eject, yeah, eject. So let me find one USB extender here. Yes, I have enough USBs on it. I don't have enough USB ports on my device, so I will use a USB extender to show you. Um, what we do is we need to power the device using the OTG. So OTG port will give us one console, and we will see it as a disk. Normally, if you plug the OTG, the device just powers up, but we see nothing on Windows. Most probably we will, because I already flashed this device. Yeah. before, but you see nothing when you put the OTG on it. What I do is, which is way easier to use a console, but now I will show you how to boot it with the SD card. Just get the SD card when not powered. Put the SD card with all the contents into the device. Just power it up again. Now it will start with all the information on it. And we will see a disk drive called Pluto on our computer coming. Yes, just like the old Pluto. But this time the device started from the SD card. And for example, to have a console connection to the device, you can connect um, the debug port to another USB port, so you will have a terminal to connect. Or you can use the Ethernet cable and connect the Ethernet cable port to your PC. Then you can communicate with the device. The default IP address of the device is 192.168.1.10. So I plugged in. Let's see, will we be able to communicate with the device? First, I need to go to Internet and Network Settings. Updating adapter settings, not this one. Yep, change adapter settings. Here I have this Ethernet, so go to the properties of Ethernet, change the TCP IP4, but 192.168.1, let's say 100, 255.255.255.0. Am I modifying the right adapter? No. This is Pluto SDR. Yeah, this is normally our USB Pluto SDR because I plugged it. So it's exactly the same as it was before. You remember 192.168.2.1 was Pluto and 2.10 was our IP address. Let's try it. So yeah, obtain IP address automatically. Let's see what IP address it assigned to us. IP config was the command as far as I remember. Yeah, IP config dash all interfaces. 50 is my wireless network. Where is the Pluto? Let's put the glasses on. 50, 169, 50. Yeah, just let's try ping 192.168.2.1. No, it's not there. So let's do what we should do. Internet connected, everything's ready. So let's give an IP address to our Ethernet. It's this one. Yes, 1.12. So 1.10 should be there. 1.10. Yeah, it's responding to our ping. So that's the device. What we can do is we can go to PowerShell and try SSH to the device. SSH root at 192.168.1.10. of course, we need to delete the SSH non-host file to be able to SSH to it. Yes. Default password is analog as it was. And you see it's Libresdr on this device. And we can see. The important thing here, when you want to burn the firmware onto the device, flash, not to use SD card anymore, you need to copy the Pluto FRM and boot FRM to the mounted disk drive. But we spend like 5 hours to figure out what should be the file names. Is it boot FRM and Pluto FRM? If we check the etc device info or device config file, we see that the target file name should be Libresdr or libre.frm. Yeah, we spent 5 hours to find this information. So when you go to your device and copy any Pluto FRM file, Pluto FRM and boot FRM, just copy these and copy them to the new Pluto SDR disk drive. Paste. The most important thing is if you eject it, it never overwrites the flash contents. You need to rename this Pluto FRM to Libre FRM. That's the trick. Libre FRM. Now I can go and eject the Libre SDR. And on the device, I see the Ethernet LED is blinking. I need to wait for a while to see it's completed. Then, for example, I ejected the disk. So I do wait until I see the Pluto disk again. Yep, just waiting for the Pluto disk to appear here again. It takes roughly a minute, sometimes 2 minutes to prepare the firmware on the device. You can watch all the progress on a console. Maybe in a minute I can show it to you, but first let's be sure that the Pluto will be ready. Of course, there might be a demo effect. Let's wait. I believe it will come. Yeah, for this you don't need the Ethernet cable, just the OTG cable is enough. So I use the Ethernet cable just to show you that you can communicate with the device and we are dealing with the right device. As you see now, Pluto SDR is there. And now, yeah, again, you can connect and see what's in it. So what will I do is unplug the power. I will get the SD card off. And if I plug OTG again, the device will boot quickly. And we will see the, yeah, Pluto SDR and Pluto SDR file system again. You can just start the SDR console and any other software and start using the device as a USB SDR Adam Pluto, like this SDR Plus. It's on this IP address. Yeah, if it's over the IP, you can just plug in the Ethernet and start using it. If you want to use it over USB, it's over USB. You can use it as you were using. So start. Yeah, demo effect because we didn't configure our Ethernet cable again. Let's first see that we can communicate with the device, PowerShell, and let's ping ping 192.168.1.10, which is our Pluto IP address. We can't ping it. Now let's look to the config file. Of course, now it's a Pluto, so we have a config txt, and we can configure it. Yeah, no IP address here, so 192.168.1.10, 1.10 I can give and just save, close, and eject as usual. Or I can use the USB connection, which is 192.168.1, 2.1. Yeah, let's see, let's wait. Yeah, it connected again, and it says success update environment. So I should be now able to communicate with it. Not again. Let's run the PowerShell again and see that we can communicate with the device. And we SSH, no. Yeah, can we ping the other IP address? 2.1. Yep, demo effect, I would like to call it. Yeah, change adapter options. Yeah, now we are able to boot the device without need to SD card, but we need to figure out what is our IP address now. Configure. 2.1 is the Ethernet address. 2.10, yes. 1.10 is the other one. Just let's go to PowerShell again. IP address / all to see all my IP addresses. ipconfig, sorry, ipconfig / all. Here we have 1.12. So we should be able to 1.192.168.1.10. And type of master. Could not find a 168.1. Something's wrong here. Give me a second to solve it. Yes, sorry. We had to fix a lot of things in between. Let's come back to our old situation again. Now the device is fully erased. I erased the device just to show you if I plug any cable to without Ethernet, there will be no Pluto SDR disk coming to these disks because it's fully erased device now, just like we get it from AliExpress. So I just unplug this SD card. You know how I prepared it. I just downloaded this Libresdr, just went to the tools, installed the driver. Then here from the master firmware, from the working firmware, I copied everything into Flash. What I did wrong was I used the boot FRM and Pluto FRM from this folder. That was my mistake in the previous one. But yeah, we prepared the SD card. copied everything. Just put the SD card into your device. Just plug it from the OTG. Now we should see the Pluto SDR disk here soon. Yes, it's here. And we see it. So when you look to the configuration, you see that the USB Ethernet card is recognized and it has the IP address of 1.10. But we don't have any Ethernet cable plugged. So if I open a PowerShell or command prompt, and if I try to ping 1.10, I see nothing because, sorry, 198.1.10, I see nothing because I didn't connect the Ethernet to it. 2.1 is the USB, so its USB is plugged. Maybe I can try to see if we can see 2.1. The USB part doesn't work out of box. So what I will do is I will plug my Ethernet card to the device. And in the Windows configuration, I will configure my Ethernet card to have 192.168.1 network. If I can, yes, this is my Ethernet card properties. And here you see 192.168.1.100 is my IP address. So just close this, close this, close this. Now I should be able to, able to ping it. Ping 192.168.1.10. And you see I can ping it. I can SSH to device, like SSH root at 192.168.1.10. Of course, I need to delete the known host file because the SSH key of the device changes on every boot. Yeah, the password is analog. And you see we are in Libresdr. Please be careful. When you see Libresdr here, if you're using that image, Libresdr, then, and if you do ifconfig, you will see that the Ethernet is also there, the ETH0, 192.168.1.10. And the file name that we need to write to device is in the file called etc device config. When you come here, you will see the firmware file should be the libre.frm, not pluto.frm. We SSH to device and we show this. What else? Can we have a console to this device? This is some extra information. If you plug the second USB to your PC, let me do it this way. First, let's open the device manager on this computer. Right click, properties, then to device manager. And in the device manager, if you open the COM ports here, you see only one COM port, which is the OTG port. Now I will plug in my debug port. And here you see, now I have 4 USB ports. 28, 29, 30. The one just the second one, 0, 1, 2, which is, let's say, the one number from the top, not 30, but 29, is our console port. So I will try to connect to that console port using PuTTY, serial home port 29. Then the speed is 115200. Now if I try connect, and press enter. Oh, nothing happens. And then we are on the wrong port. Then let's try putty. I would like to try the other 28, let's say. Serial port 28. Normally it's the second serial port. 115.1.2.2.0.200. Yep, not on this one. Okay, it's the demo effect. Let's do it again. Remove it. Plug it in back. Hey, it should be 29. Unplug. Yeah, it says Pluto serial console on 27, and we try the others. We should be very clever. It's 27. It's COM port 27 115.200. You see, of course, read first. So if I type root here, yep, sorry, I touched the port, so I need to restart this session. Sorry, I need to do it again because I touched the cables. Uh, Go to serial COM port 27 115.200. And yeah, what's going on? I said, yep, we're still on the device. Yes. Let's do another quotation here. Serial port, COM port 27 115.200. Connect. Let's start from the beginning. Unplug all, plug them back. Wait for a while. See the COM ports on the device manager. Yes, 20. Yep, it's here. 28, 29, 30, 31. Normally I use the 130. I would like to use 30, but it says 27. Let's try both and see which gives us the console. And being a stopborn, I would like to try 30 first. Yes, and I'm all right. Root and analog, and now we are in the console again. You can get the console from the serial port, or of course you can just SSH to the device after deleting the host file. Say yes and analog. So these both work. And if you get into the device, just get the device etc device config file and check what is the name of the file here. Because when we connect to the device disk, to put here, it's not the Pluto FRM and boot FRM. It should be the boot FRM and the Libre FRM as stated here. So I go to the downloaded folder. I would like to go into the folder called, let's use this Pluto STR theme. Then I will show you some different versions from different people, how you burn it on the top of it. Boot FRM and Pluto FRM. Yep, copy. Now, if I remove the disk, it will do nothing. So I need to rename this Pluto FRM to Libre FRM without typo. And on the Pluto, I need to do eject. And now I see the device um, Ethernet green LED blinking one once a second. That means it's flashing. It's a little bit different than the Pluto because only the Pluto firmware flashes the blinks very rapidly during the flashing. That's the Pluto firmware, not one of these firmware. You need to wait until you see the Pluto disk appears on your machine. So let's wait. You can download Pluto firmware and burn it, but then you will not have the Ethernet on it. Some GPIOs will be missing, so please use some other. Yeah, see, I have the console open here, so you can see the boot all the time. So it's good to have the PuTTY following the boot port all the time, so you see what the device is doing. Yep, it rebooted. If you check the config file, as you see, the USB Ethernet is 1.10 now. It was not in the previous one because the other firmware was not able to see the Ethernet. So here, if you go and log in from the console with the user analog, and if I do ifconfig, you will see the Ethernet. So in Windows, you can just ping it. It will ping because this has the right firmware on it. What we can do is we can go to internet and search for Libresdr, GitHub, enter, and so this H12 was good. It has the 0.38 firmware there. So if I go to in the files, yeah, the release is 0.38. So it has very different versions. This is the 750 megahertz, and this is overclocked to 1.1 gigahertz version. Even the RAMs are faster. So if you want the faster Pluto, this device supports it. You can download one of these. Now, what I will do is just download one of these. I clicked, I hope it will come. Yeah, here it's coming. Base clock 7, blah, 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 CPR. Our file completed. It's a 20 megabytes file. Let's see. Let's go to downloads folder on my computer, downloads folder. So I have it here. So what I need from this image is, of course, I can just burn everything here to the SD card and start using this 038 version. That's one option. But I would like to show you that what we can do with the FRM files. I will try this later. So let's go to this Libresdr folder. Go to, sorry, Libresdr, firmware docs. What we can try here, let's find another, yeah, mystery firmware. I didn't try these, but I can go back here. Working firmware. Here we have the boot um, FRM and Pluto FRM. I just want to copy those Pluto FRM here. I can copy the boot file as well. Let's copy the boot FRM. Should I rename the Pluto FRM to Libre FRM? It's easy to check. Just go to the device, etc. Now we booted from the flash, so we would like to move everything to the device's memory, not the SD card. We would like to boot from the flash. etc device config. Yes, I need to rename this to Libresdr. Rename Libresdr. Eject the device. Wait for a while. Here you see, we will see what's going on in the console. Did I do something wrong? Did I copy the files to the right place? Yes. Flashing. Flashing. We do wait until we see the Pluto disk. Yep. You see now rebooted. Flash writing completed. So the device will boot. But if you leave the SD card on it, it will flash or it will start from the SD card. What I will do is I will just remove the SD card. Let's get here easily. Yep. Now I will say root, analog, let's say power off. Yep, system halted. Let's remove the SD card. I have the SD card now, no SD card in it. Remove the power, put the power back, put the device back. Of course, we lost the console. If you remove it, Windows forgets the console. Yep, and the device booted. We see this Pluto SDR disk here. If you check the config, you see that it's 2.1, the IP address. As USB, you can connect to it, but it doesn't have the USB Ethernet configuration. You need to do this manually with this firmware. Now, if I can restart this terminal, if I can, I think we need to go to device manager and figure out which port is our console port now. This PC properties, device manager. Here we have LPT ports 27 and 30. Let's try which will give us a new terminal, new session, serial. First, let's try 27. Yes, root, analog. Here you see it says Pluto SDR, and if you cat, um, oops, sorry, yep, Control C, reset terminal, normal console, just for a few characters. Um, New session, serial 27115200. It's in use. Okay, let's do it again. Power off, power on. Close, open, putty. Wait until we see the disk. We know that it will be, yeah, disk is okay. Now start with putty. Serial 27. Yes, it's here. Root, analog, and more etc device. Yeah, it just works for a few minutes, then stops. Most probably we have the wrong firmware on this device. So we should somehow find a better firmware to run on it. Anyway, these are the hints I can give you. To summarize, first, put everything on a flash from Libresdr folder, firmware and devices, then working firmware, copy everything here. Then if it's a Libresdr, then you need to just to boot everything to the flash on the device, you need to rename it to LibreFRM, not the Pluto FRM. But if it's a Pluto device like this, if it's booting as a Pluto, then the device accepts only Pluto FRM, not the LibreFRM. That's all I can say. That's all for today. Now I need to prepare a shorter Turkish video for this.